What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to G Myers World Podcast. So right now we're going to be talking about the Monday Night Football game. We're talking Niners, we're talking Cardinals. I will tell you this, though. Kyler Murray didn't play. He probably was playing Call of Duty. There's a lot of double XP going on, so maybe he wasn't available, but it's not about that. Look, man, I'm scared of the way that I saw them play yesterday, primarily because if Jimmy Garoppolo can play like that, bro, you're going to have a lot of problems, okay? Because he was unbelievable. In my opinion, he was unbelievable. Usually, you can see him throw a Stevie here and there and all that kind of stuff, but, he was just doing whatever he wanted, and that's not a good look for the league because defensively they were also playing well, so the beating that they gave them 38-10, I understand it's just the Cardinals, but that's still an NFL team, and sometimes you build a lot of confidence from just beating on a bum team. Like, the Cardinals are not good this year for a lot of different reasons. The early suspension of Hopkins, all the other things that went on, obviously that was major problems within the organization for the squad, but, they extended Kyler Murray, similar to what they did with Russell Wilson, and Kyler Murray hasn't really played well this year. Even when he has played, he's undersized, he's injured, he's always nicked. It's a lot going on with it. I don't know what the outcome is going to be, but I can tell you this much. They looked like garbage yesterday, overall, defensively and offensively. And I don't know if they were having, too much, whatever, bro. Too much margaritas in Mexico City, but the dudes were really, really trash. The feel and the mood of it, though, was very, very nice. Very, very good. The NFL is taking the game to Germany, taking it to Mexico City, taking it to different places so other people can see what's going on. Very unfortunate that these places are seeing trash teams, though. There have been a lot of trash teams. I know the Bucs went to Germany, but Tom Brady is 97 years old, so it wasn't going to be that type of game. But anyway, let's jump into what the game was about, right? So look, George Kittle, he had 84 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's typical of what we used to think of George Kittle. Over the last year or so, he's been more of just a blocking tight end type thing. It hasn't been the same George Kittle. He's been injured. There's been a lot going on. When he's healthy, you're going to have a problem. When he's healthy, he's going to go out there and do the things that he just did right now. And he is very electric, and he can do a lot of good things. All right? Injury has robbed a lot of these players of doing the things that they usually do. But again, one of the bigger things that I got from this game, though, Nick Bosa was doing whatever he wanted. We already know what's going on with that, right? But Christian McCaffrey. So CMC, right? When you look at what CMC has been able to do, I got to be totally honest about it, bro. Like, it's starting to get a little weird. The fact that the Panthers trading him was like a very, very good, I would say it was a good decision for both parties because the Panthers are not going anywhere with Baker Mayfield, and I think it was just fair overall. But typically, you don't see organizations do right by the players if they value what they are. So I don't know if they just thought that McCaffrey was going to be a bust or what it's going to be, but he's a very good player. And this is the situation that I have a lot of problems with when I go back to like Lamar Jackson not getting his money. I know we can complain like, yo, Lamar didn't play good last week. It was 13-3. It was an ugly game. Every NFL game is not going to be beautiful, but you can see the talent, right? Lamar Jackson, some of you guys even that left comments here, he's not worth the money. He's a running back. People are still saying that off of a guy that won an MVP in the National Football League. I don't think people realize, a lot of you dudes that are saying that he's just a running back, you got Cheetos on your thumbs, and like, I don't want to say the rest of it, bro. Watch South Park. And it's really disgusting because the level in which Lamar Jackson plays is very, very serious. Okay, so for you to kind of like brush him off because he has a bad game or whatever, and just throw away a whole season in which he was voted the MVP, it's hilarious to me. And it's usually people that have no idea what's going on that's saying it, and just like, they're just going with the old thing. When he first came into the league, I remember the first playoff game he was in when he was booed and they wanted Joe Flacco in, and John Harbaugh stayed with him. At that time, I could understand he was growing. We've seen what he is, and we know what he's going to become if he continues along the same path that he's on right now. But the reason that I say that is because CMC made Garoppolo look like he knew what he was doing yesterday, and that opened up a lot of other things. And then you have the defense playing well, so now you have like a whole monster of a trio where it's going to get real disgusting if the Niners are able to do just basic things. Look at their offense, bro. Okay, so Debo, right? Debo punched a guy like he stiff-armed the guy into like the third row. Like it was just, dude, it's just a lot of physical football players on their team. And what happens is when you have that type of scenario, everything just appears to work out properly. And I just feel right now that they can definitely make a run for it in the NFC. I believe that they're Super Bowl bound in the NFC. If you guys want to point out the Eagles, you want to point out whatever, I understand that. Like, great. You know, they had the one bad loss, the Eagles did. You know, they're looking pretty good. But even at whatever, what are they at right now? 6-4? I think that they're a very, very formidable team right now as we speak. Because when you beat on the Cardinals like that, right, and all facets of the game are you know, they're just working for you. They're just literally just everything is just working for you, and there's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of different things that are going on within the game itself, and you're just able to overcome it and just beat the brakes off of these dudes. That means, you know, that's a lot. That's a lot to really, you know, analyze and see, because we know Garoppolo is not the best quarterback. All right, we all know that. Like, it's not, if you're a Niner fan, you're probably like, yo, this dude is garbage. Like, you're probably like, yo, gee, we only need a quarterback. I know what a lot of you dudes are saying, and I do agree with you guys. I actually had a talk with a 49er fan, and, you know, Trey Lance got injured early, and they were explaining to me, they were like, yo, listen, you know, we would have been much better, even with everything that's going on, with Trey Lance coming in year 2 and just doing what he's doing, than having Garoppolo. And when Garoppolo first came back, he looked like a veteran. All right, and then after a couple of games, he's like, yo, okay, now I see why they were willing to go to Trey Lance. You know what I'm saying? Like, the dude is trash. But this is my point, right? If you give the Niners a decent, affordable quarterback, or even the Garoppolo that we got last night, they are going to the Super Bowl. And I'm telling you that simply because I just want you guys to understand the weapons that they have, they all mesh all over the place. You got a great tight end. You have a great, well, you know, what I'm saying great, I mean, like, currently right now, just with the talent, like George Kittle is a great tight end right now in the league. When he's healthy, he's a top 3 tight end in the league when he's healthy. All right. Deebo Samuels is an all-purpose player. All right. So you know, he'll run for a touchdown. You know, he'll stiff arm you into the third row. He'll do whatever he wants. You add CMC. Okay. You could kind of, you know, you could name some of the other, you know, wide receivers and stuff, but those are my players right there that I'm looking at, like, all right, you know, those 3 right there, they're enough where you can game plan around them and have some fun. Defensively, you just got to look at Nick Bosa, because that man is a one-man wrecking crew. And that's all, like, bro, I don't, like, I'm watching the game, I'm like, yo, this guy is all over the screen doing whatever he wants. Like, it's just really, really crazy, and I don't know how you block him, but it is what it is, bro. I think, like, how many sacks this man got? He got like 10, 11 sacks already. It's like, yo, bro, what is going on right now? So that's what I'm looking at. Now, you can argue that the Cardinals are garbage and that they sucked in the second half, and I would agree with you. But even with all of that, the way that they dominated, it should concern you if you're in the NFC. Like, if you're the Eagles, you should be looking at that. If you're the Cowboys, you should be looking at that, because the Niners have burnt the Cowboys before. So I'm just making sure I'm putting it out there that regardless of your opponent, when you look like this, and I know the Cowboys just beat the hell out of the Vikings, and it's like, oh my God, but when it comes down to the playoffs, if they're able to do anything like what they did last night, the NFC is in trouble. I'm going to see you guys and girls next time. You enjoy your day. Happy holidays. I'll see you next time. One love, y'all.